With it getting so hot outside, you probably need to get yourself a Shatterproof archery. Oh! What's up, Team Shatterproof? Welcome back to another episode of Will It Bow, where we take crazy ideas or materials and try to make a bow out of them. Today we're taking CA glue, of oak board and some fiberglass on the back. CA glue, basically super glue, is what we're gonna use. Also fiberglass. Recently I started selling bear paw fiberglass on the website, and I've been making all these really cool fiberglass bows, but I was like, could we use that just as a bow backing on an oak board that's like $7 from the home store? So my primary fear with this bow is that the glue is not gonna secure the glass to the oak. These are a few materials I had laying around that I was like, maybe, just maybe, we can make a successful bow out of this. I have massive aspirations to be able to build some bow kits in order to get to you guys in the future. I used to do a version of that, but this is gonna be an interesting test. Of course, I wanna end up doing it with the CA glue, but what if someone said, hey, you've got 4 hours to make a bow with a strong backing. Would this work? Will this glue work? I'm very curious about it. Let's find out today. Got a few things working with us and a few things working against us. First, I don't know how the glue will perform. I'm saying that might be working against us because I have other glue that I know would do great. Secondly, this oak board is not particularly good. There's a few knots in it. The grain is not good at all, so hopefully that fiberglass holds. And that's the one thing we've got going for us. This bear paw fiberglass is 5 times stronger than bamboo, which is 2 times stronger than Osage, so 10 times stronger than an Osage backing with this fiberglass. So that's what we've got going for us. Hopefully it's gonna hold and the glue won't just separate. I'm nervous that the CA glue is gonna be too brittle, but we'll have to glue it up to find out. We're making a 64-inch bow. We've got our industrial CA glue. I cut this off to be part of the handle, and we've got the fiberglass ready to go. Now, I don't know how to clamp this, or even if I should, I don't know what to do exactly here in order to get this glued down here quickly before this dries. I'm gonna have to come up with something. I could do it in sections, glue a section, set it down, let it dry, and then peel it up and do another section. Or should I just go for it all at once? I am not sure. Okay, so it is absolutely time for the glue up, and I've decided I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna do it all at once. But what I know is that the wood is gonna soak up more glue than the glass. The glass doesn't really soak up much glue at all. So I'm gonna put the glue just on the wood and then get the glass on it. Throw as many spring clamps on as I can, as fast as I can. The glue bottle says that the cure time is 5 to 60 seconds. Let's hope it's closer on the 60-second end here, because I do not want this curing when I don't get it straight. So I'm gonna put the glue on, spread it out as fast as I can, and try to set that on straight. I'll worry about the clamps after that. All right, let's get right to it. All right, moment of truth. Let's do this. know when there's a ton of CA glue and it like burns your eyes?
Yes,
Ugh.
my eyes are watering.
Done. Done. Let's let that cure. And we'll see how it goes. All right, we are back. Ooh, no. I left the cap off. But a real quick note, this is my favorite glue because when you leave the cap off, from my experience, even after some time, check that out, it still works. That's why that is my favorite glue from Glue Masters. They say 5 to 60 seconds in order for it to get hard. And it says 3 hours for maximum strength. We're about an hour since we put it on, and we're not gonna wait the time. We're gonna start building because it will take some time to shape it down before I even start bending it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start shaping this stave into a bow. I've got the width more or less to where I want it, so now it's time to take down the thickness. By looking at this backing, it looked like the glue joint was phenomenal. I am super impressed how tight that glass is to the yoke. Now we just gotta see if it'll hold when we start bending it. A question I often get is how wide should I make the bow for a 40-pound bow, or something similar? In my experience, 1/2 inch thick on oak ends up pretty close to a 40-pound bow. So if you start at 5/8 an inch from the back of the bow and cut it to there, then that leaves room for you to tiller. If you want a little more powerful bow, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Always leave more wood because you can always take it off, but you can't always put it back on. All right, so we're making progress in this very hot garage, but here it is. I mean, the black looks pretty good actually. We've sanded it down. We've made it look a lot nicer. Now, this is barely bending at all with the floor tiller. And I just push it on the floor like that so I can see how it's initially bending and to make sure that I don't have an inconsistent bend in the very beginning. But I've got a lot more wood to remove, so that's what we're gonna do now. Then we're gonna be able to start tillering it. So let's remove some more wood, cut some knocking points in, and we can grab our tillering string, start tillering it, see how it's bending, and hopefully by the end of the day, shoot this. Since the grain's not straight, I keep having, was I yelling? Since the grain's not straight, I keep having trouble. This thing is so uncomfortable. I keep having trouble scraping it because it's wanting to split out that wood. So I'm gonna use the belt sander to take down the wood instead of the draw knife. That way I don't split it out too thin too quickly. So let's hop over to the belt sander and let's get this bow working. So it's not a bad idea to get it like I have right here, where it's even thickness on either side. And then from here, you can start tillering. Now, it's always good to remember that wood acts differently depending on many different factors. But the same thickness doesn't mean it's gonna bend the same on both sides. So that's why we start to tiller and go by the looks of the bend rather than the thickness once you get down to a bending bow. So you can see as I floor tiller this now, we're bending quite a bit. So the next step for us is gonna be cutting knot grooves in, and then from there, we put it on the tillering tree. Just put the bow up on the tillering tree, and this is when it gets really exciting. This is when you kind of move from woodworking so far through this process to now it's like we're bow making. We're starting to bend and move the wood, and this is where the tillering comes into place, which is extremely fun. So I haven't bent it at all yet, except on the floor tiller. Here the bend goes right now. Looks like we're bending a little much right here. This limb is definitely more stiff. We're gonna take more off of that limb to start off, and then we'll put it back up, retest out the weight, and we'll take it back and forth until we get this bending how we like it. So depending on the bow, this process of bringing it up onto the tillering tree, measuring where I need to remove wood, removing wood, I can go back and forth up to 100 times, 50 times, 200 times even on a bow I'm trying to get really precise. And it also depends on the material, because some material is more forgiving than others. So instead of showing 50 times back and forth, let's do like a 10-second tillering montage for you so we can see if this bow will bow. We're getting close. Ooh, this is heavy poundage still. The fiberglass adds a lot of poundage to the bow because my thickness is a lot thinner than, let me check. Yep, we're under 1/2 inch, 4/10 of an inch really. Yeah, so we're at 4/10 of an inch, and my other 40-pound bow was 1/2 inch. So this is 40 pounds. I'm not sure where we're at, but probably 15 inches right now on the draw. Got a little bit more tillering to go. Roll 10 more seconds. say we've got a bow, we've got a string on it, but I'm gonna have to call it a night. So tomorrow we'll pick up the tillering. We need to still make the poundage quite a bit lighter. But by tomorrow we'll have a finished bow, and then we'll go out and shoot it. Hopefully it shoots well, hopefully it works well. I can't wait to see if this bow will be a good one. Check this out. All we've got left really now is just to shape the handle. So let's go ahead and make this comfortable, add an arrow rest, and from that point, I think we'll be good to take it out and shoot. Is complete. Now I didn't do any fine sanding on this bow, but I did put a linseed oil beeswax finish. I threw a 10-year-old bowstring on it, added some Shatterproof Archery arrow rest. I got my nail knot on, and I think we're ready to go outside and officially shoot this. It turned up to be a 34.5-pound bow at 28-inch draw. And so what I'm really curious about is I have a 41-pound oak bow at a 28-inch draw. I want to shoot both of these through the chronograph and see which one's faster. I'm curious to see if the fiberglass added any speed, and I am slightly surprised, so far at least, that the CA glue has held so tightly with literally 0 gaps. I can't find any gaps. Just throwing those spring clamps on, like, that's a shocker. It'll be interesting to see over time if that works well on this bow. But we're ready to go ahead. Oh yeah, that's nice. Go ahead and take this outside to the backyard and take some shots. Let's go. Okay, here's the other oak bow. This is that one bow I did, I think it was $13 in materials with a rawhide backing. And then this is the fiberglass bow. Look at the limb thicknesses. Look at the comparison there. I mean, that's 1/2 inch, and that is way, way smaller. So let's just do a quick little comparison here with the calipers, just to show you the strength. What was that, 3? Almost double. That's crazy, almost double. They are 5 pounds or 6 pounds different in draw weight, but I think that just shows how strong the glass is. This is only 30 thousandths of an inch glass, so it's thin glass, but it adds a lot of rigidity to this oak bow. Arrows aren't tuned at all. 140, 137, 138, 138. Okay, perfect. All right, so will it bow? Yes. Cyanoacrylate CA super glue will actually hold the fiberglass to the yoke. We know there's fiberglass bows and oak bows, but I've never tried the super glue, and it worked much better than I thought it would. And something I found really fascinating when I shot this bow next to this other oak bow, which is about 6 pounds stronger in draw weight. And what I found out is that they are very close in speed. 143, 147, so I was more consistent with this bow. This bow I hit 138 both times. If I kept shooting for a bigger test group, I think this bow is gonna come in about 3 feet per second faster than the fiberglass bow, but 6 pounds different in draw weight. In other words, I think the fiberglass adds extra snap and definitely extra durability. So in the end, I'm very impressed. Stay tuned if you're interested in bow making or archery, because more's coming at you. I've got some really cool products planned for the future, and we sell many products, about 30 of them right now. So if you need anything archery, you might want to check Shatterproof Archery. That would mean a ton to me. Thanks for joining me today. Stay shatterproof. I'll see you guys on the next video.